From his studios in New York, it's time for Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. Here's your host, Dan Tortora.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. Hanging out here in the Charney's Menswear and Tuxedo Studios. Charney's Menswear and Tuxedos available for you for whatever you need. If you want some relaxed wear, you want, to go out and get some Syracuse gear, some NFL gear, as well as, Looney Tunes and graphic tees, Bahama, Bamboo K, like the Bahama type shirts, the Tommy Bahamas, obviously, Callaway for those of you that are out there golfing and having some fun, as well as dress shirts for school, polo shirts, the shorts, the pants, literally everything that you need is at Charney's. So head off to 3150 Erie Boulevard East in Syracuse, New York today. Well, we're at our first part of the show. What's poppin' here? Proudly presented by Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn. Starts off with Will Amica and his commitment to Albany. That commitment has happened very, very recently. We're on the heels of it, and I'm very excited to have him on the show. Will has been someone that I consider a friend, somebody that I have valued over the years here in my coverage of West Genesee athletics, and has always been good to me as well as his family. So with that being said, Will, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And Will, how's life been going? I mean, it's been a little bit of time since you and I have caught up with each other. How's everything been going?
Everything's been good. Just been working out, just trying to get better every day.
And so for you, I'm doing well, man. I appreciate you asking. Everything's been good. I think, has it sunk into you that you're a state champion yet? I mean, has that actually kind of hit you yet that you're a state champion?
Kind of. The other day I was really thinking about it, just thinking about really all that we really did this year, or last year. And
so when it hits you, what do you think? I mean, do people say when you're walking up and down the halls at West Jenny, I mean, do they say stuff? I mean, how are you kind of, feeling it, so to speak? Were people excited the first day of school coming in and whatnot? I mean, how was it?
Yeah, everybody's excited. It's just been a lot of congratulations. Just people asking how we're going to be this year. It's been a lot. It's been a lot of attention.
So how do you feel like you and the team have handled it? I know it's not been a lot of time, since you've been back to school and whatnot, but how have you handled the fact that, you're state champions and people want to know how the team's going to be this year and there's expectations and whatnot? How do you feel like you've handled that?
Well, everybody coming back and everybody moving up, we all have the same mindset that we had last year. So coming into this season, we should have the same shot that we did last year.
So for you to be able to do this, with your brothers, and obviously one of them has moved on and, is in Albany playing for Siena coming up this season, is Luke Sutherland. What's life like without Luke in the hallways?
Me and Luke was always together in the hallways. I'm not laughing as much this year because I'm not with Luke, but I'll still call him every now and then, see how he is. I was on the phone with him yesterday, actually.
And when you catch up with him, what do you have to say? What's the conversation like with Will when you got to talk to him yesterday?
I'll just ask him how college was, if he likes Siena, how Albany is, and I was talking a little trash about if Albany played Siena.
If
what
Albany.
we gonna do to him.
So you're already talking trash.
Yeah, had to.
Okay, fair enough. So you decide on Albany. Before we get to that, speaking here with Will Amica, West Genesee state champion and now a commit to the University at Albany. Just what your thoughts are, Will, about your recruitment. Before we get into specifically Albany, just how was recruiting for you? Because everybody has their own personal experience. What was your experience like in recruiting?
This summer, my recruiting really picked up. It picked up mostly this summer. I got a lot of interest from a lot of colleges and a few offers. But before that, the last time I had got offered was in 9th grade. So this summer it really picked up.
So go back to that 9th grade offer, and for people that don't know, who was the first school to offer you?
Buffalo, University of Buffalo, or at Buffalo.
So you got that, and then, when you got that first offer and that first opportunity to play Division I men's basketball, go back to that moment in 9th grade and just what that meant to you. And, obviously you've chosen Albany, but just what that offer, no matter who it came from, just what that offer means, and the fact that there was somebody out there that saw value in what you were doing.
It was really, honestly, a dream come true, because before that, just working up to it, my dream has always been to play Division I basketball. When I got my first offer, it really clicked that I could actually do it, so it just made me want to work even harder to get even better.
And so you get that, and then your recruiting picks up a little bit more recently here. Who are the other schools that offered you?
Stony Brook, Lehigh, Lafayette, and UAlbany.
And UAlbany. And before we get to UAlbany, I do have coming up later on here in the show, Katie Kalinsky. She's a good friend of mine, and she also is a West Genesee alum. She told me she knows you pretty well. She used to work you out and stuff and whatnot. So what can you say to me about Katie Kalinsky?
Actually, the first time I met her, I was in, I think, elementary school. I was at my elementary school summer camp, and She was one of my counselors. So I've known her for a long time, since I was like a baby. And then in 10th grade, my 10th grade summer, I worked out with her a lot when she was at Buffalo with the girls team. But now she's at Lafayette, right?
Yeah, now she's over at Lafayette.
Yeah.
So, what can you say about Katie? I mean, she's always been a tremendous person to me and a good person in our community. What does she mean to you? I mean, since you've gotten to obviously grow up around her and spend a lot of time with her.
She's one of the best people I know. She's always in my corner, always trying to help me get better, and always just really helping me with everything. I could talk to her about anything, and she's always there for me.
That coming from Will Amica, some amazing words, very positive words for Katie Kalinsky. I expect nothing less with everything that I know that she's been to me and that she's been to other people in this community, and obviously coming from West Jenny. So, Will, for you to get into this Albany commitment, what made you do it? What is it about Albany that's so special?
Well, I just came off my official visit to Albany. I was there from Thursday to Saturday, and the whole time I was there, I really felt like I was part of their family. They're all really close together, and when I was there, they just made me feel like I was a part of it, and I wanted to be like that. Also, their point guard, they only have one point guard right now, and he's graduating, so that leaves a spot open for me to come in and play. Yeah. And their offense is kind of like, it's based around the way I play. They like to push the ball. I get the ball up the court fast. And I also felt secure. Their coach has been there for 20 years, so I wasn't worried about him leaving or anything. And I felt good about all of that.
So you like the family atmosphere. How did you see the family atmosphere? What was it about the team and maybe how they interacted with each other that you saw that family atmosphere?
They was all, after we all went out to dinner, and some of the team was there, but after I went over to the dorms with them, and the whole team was there, and they was all just like really like brothers, and I just felt like I wanted to be a part of that.
And obviously, you talked about the coach being there for a while, and that longevity and maybe some security. How important is that to you? I mean, you obviously saw Luke go through a change where the head coach had left at Siena, but then the assistant coach was able to step in, and Coach Carm was able to take that head coaching job, and that was really the person who had spent a lot of time recruiting Luke, so it all worked out for him. But, just did you take anything away from what Luke went through in his recruiting?
Yeah, I took away from Luke, and so many people are transferring because coaches are leaving. and I didn't want to have to go through all that. So if I felt that I could be in a place for 4 years with the same coach,
yeah,
then that was going to be great for me.
And so, when you look at this program, this situation, you committed after going on your official visit. Some people do that, some people wait. What made you feel like you couldn't wait and yet you wanted to commit right after you went on the visit?
Like I said, I really just felt like I was really part of their family, and I just didn't want to risk anything, so I just committed.
And that commitment that you have, Will, is it 100%? Can recruitment still be open? Can teams still get in touch with you and call you, or have you made it clear to Albany that that's where you're going?
Right now it's clear that I'm going to Albany.
And you're not going too far away, so I would imagine that the parents are excited. I would imagine that they're...
my mom's real happy.
And I was talking about your mom to Katie Kalinsky, actually, this week, and I'll never forget, and I remember you too, looking like you were half asleep and you were out there, but after you guys won the state championship, and I had gone from, I remember I flew back from the ACC tournament and then went to your game and then went down to Albany to see the girls team play for West Jenny, and then went back to Binghamton to see you guys, and then went back to Albany. And I'll never forget your mom catching me walking by, and she was just like, "Is that you, Dan?" She's like, "Don't you ever sleep?" And I was like, "Man, you don't sleep either." So she's like, "All right." But I was like, I slept like 4 hours, but I just remember her looking at me going, "Do you ever sleep?" And then she gave me a hug. So she's always got that personality, man. She brings people together.
Yeah, my mom's a real peppy person.
So
she always wakes me up when I'm around her.
Yeah, so is she just like, all decked out in Albany gear already?
Nah, not yet, but she's gonna be.
All right, fair enough. So before I let you go, speaking here of Will Amica, West Genesee state champ, and now committed to the university at Albany. What do you like about Albany's area in general? I mean, is there something about Albany outside of the school? Did you get to maybe travel around a little bit and kind of see what the community's like? Did you get a feel for that at all?
Yeah, I did, but I've always really been in Albany since 6th grade. I played with the Albany City Rock. So I've always been in Albany. We had practices out there all the time. So I've been in and out of Albany since 6th grade. So I feel comfortable with that area too.
So having that with Albany, having that connection for you, just, like you said, you've been with the Albany City Rocks. What do you think about that? And did anybody reach out from the City Rocks when, you decided and made this commitment? Because it's nice. You'll be in their backyard. You'll be in a familiar place. And obviously, some people that trained you and helped you along are going to be right there as well.
Yeah, it was, my head coach for City Rocks reached out to me. It's just like, I feel like that if I ever need like an outlet to go to, if I can't go to my mom, because she's already in Syracuse, my mom and dad, they're out here. So if I ever need, I just feel like it's another place I can go to. I can go to my coaches, talk to my coaches from City Rocks. And it's just like another, basically like outside family.
Absolutely, and it's nice to have that opportunity because for you, I mean, you're not going too far away from home, but you're going to be around, like you said, another part of your, extended family, so to speak. So that's got to be comforting for you.
Yeah.
So I do want to give you a congratulations, and this is something. It's coming from somebody who's watching and listening right now. This is something you got to take and kind of put in your pocket and keep forever. There's people in history in our community of Central and Upstate New York that have done some tremendous things. And one of those people got to don the orange and blue and play for Syracuse and has been in our community and continues to grow and help people in our community. And that's Eugene Waldron. And he not only is listening and watching to what you're saying today, but he wanted to personally congratulate you. And I wanted to hand that off to you that, one of our players in Syracuse history that's helping out the community wanted to extend a congratulations to you this morning, and And I wanted to tell you live because I think it's really cool to see somebody that, had their playing days now reaching out to somebody else who's going to be playing D1 basketball. So Gene Waldron says congratulations.
Thank you. Tell him I said thank you so much. That means a lot.
I definitely will. So, everybody's asking you how the team's going to be this year, Will. So, obviously I'll have you guys out at the Wildcat, and we'll be having a good time and doing some awesome things. But what's life like? Share it with me. West Genesee this year. How you feeling about the team?
Real good. I feel real good about the team. We got a lot of pieces we got some pieces from last year coming back, but we have a lot of pieces from JV that I feel like are really getting better and could really be a problem this year.
And who are some of those guys from JV that you think can be a problem this year?
James Tully, Jack Delgetti, my boy Max, he a shooter. He a lefty, he's a shooter, knockdown. So is Jack. They both lefty shooters, knockdown. We should be real tough.
And, for you, obviously you have a good relationship with a bunch of the guys on the team, but I got to shout him out, and I know if I didn't, he'd ask me why I didn't. What's life like with Mr. Cam? How's Cam doing?
Cam's good.
Cam's
good. He's, I don't know what class he's in right now, but he's good.
But he's doing good. How does he feel about this season?
He feels real good, too. We both real confident about this season. We know that since we did it last year, we have a chance to do it again. And we just keep that in our heads when we training together, all that. We just thinking about getting back to what we did this year and getting another ring.
And how do you stay focused, Will, with all this? I mean, there's accolades, there's obviously congratulations, there's expectations, banners and whatnot and trophies. How do you stay focused on this season and make sure that you don't get caught up in what happened last year?
I just stay in the gym. I just make sure that I'm getting to the gym every day. I keep lifting, getting shots up. It's honestly not even really that hard to kind of get away from basketball because of how much we still train. So I'm just trying to get better and just get back to it.
That coming this morning from Will Amica live on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora following his commitment to Albany. So once again, Will, my final piece before we get to see each other, sit down and speak and whatnot. First of all, thank you for coming on to the show today, and I appreciate it. And the second piece of this is definitely. Danny Tome, the owner of the Wildcat, said good talk with Will this morning. He's listening in as well. But Will, I just you know it. I mean, I've told you before, but you and the whole West Genesee family has let me into the basketball team, to athletics in general. Fred Kent's been tremendous. You've been great, and you've treated me like family and all throughout this whole thing. So I just want to not only congratulate you on your commitment, but thank you for letting me be a part of the journey, and it goes well beyond being a broadcaster. You really have made me feel like part of the family, and I appreciate that very much.
No problem. Thank you for wanting to be a part of it.
Absolutely, man. I mean, it means a lot to me being down in Binghamton, so I want to do it again, but I know it takes a step by step, and I know you got to get there.
Yeah, but we'll make sure we get back to Binghamton.
All right, sounds good. And I got to get in touch with Fred Kent because he owes me a ring. So, but I'll talk with you soon, and congratulations, and God bless. Okay.
All right, thank you. God bless you too.
All right, thanks, man.